Ms. Buetow, since the beginning of the 118th Congress, the committee has sought information regarding criminal illegal aliens allowed entry into the United States. These requests languished with DHS for months, despite committee staff following up with DHS regularly. As a result, the committee ultimately subpoenaed DHS for these materials on December 8th of 2023. Of the 14 A files DHS is compelled by the subpoena to produce, only 11 have been provided. Despite the committee's subpoena production deadline lapsing on January 8th, 2024, DHS has failed to produce the remaining A files, citing the, quote, corruption, unquote, of the documents as an excuse to committee staff in April of 2024. When did DHS begin the process of responding to the committee's June 9th, July 31st, and September 14th requests?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Chair. With respect to the A files, the department responds to each congressional request we receive, whether it's a document production, a letter, et cetera. The department always responds. With respect to the A files in particular, they don't all live in the same place. So it is a time-consuming process, whether it's a file that lives with CBP versus ICE, et cetera. So at the time that we would have received the initial request, that would have began the process of working with the components to identify where information resides, and some of these files are incredibly large, so that is a time-consuming process.
So you're stating that you began the process when you received the initial request?
Anytime we receive a request, that is when we begin the accommodations process, plus the identification process, which I think is a slightly different.
Because my kids like to wait until the last minute to do their homework. Can you state with absolute certainty that it was before the committee's December 8th, 2023 subpoena?
Yes.
Okay. Has the department compiled the remaining A files that are due to the committee?
So I would like to first thank your staff. We have been in constant communication with regards to the A file, and we've become in a process of prioritizing some of these files. Some of the files are incredibly large, some of them are smaller. So we have, I believe, as recently as this week, continued to push some of the ones that were more of a manageable size, and we will continue to do so.
So you're still pulling relevant documents?
Yes.
Okay. Can you commit to producing the remaining A files by May 17th?
Mr. Chair, I think it would be irresponsible for me to commit to a date when I cannot identify each particular file and where each particular document is. What I can commit to is aggressively working with our team to be responsive to the committee's requests.
So you can't give me a date today?
I don't believe that, recognizing that I'm under oath, I would love to say that the 17th would be a date certain, but I don't think that would be appropriate.
If I said June 17th, or would you like to confirm that you can't give me a date today?
Chairman Cline, I can commit to you that we will aggressively work towards getting those files as soon as possible. My understanding is we have worked through a process of triaging, which I would think would help facilitate faster movement on the remaining files.
Okay. In one A file produced to the committee, an annotation was included that reads, consultation with the White House. Right there. Did the White House play any role in DHS's clearance process of this production?
I don't believe so, Congressman, but I would have to verify.
Okay, can you explain the annotation?
I cannot, and I'd be happy to take that back and get clarity on what that is.
Thank you, and we'd like to get that clarification immediately if possible. During this administration...
Mr. Chairman, is there like a Bates stamp number on the document there or something? I'd like to see the document as well.
It's in our possession. We'll make sure that we circulate that, but it's been provided by the witness to us, and so we have that. Sure. During this administration, did the White House ever play any role in DHS's clearance process for any materials requested by the committee?
Congressman, as I stated in my opening statement, we work very hard to cooperate with the committee and work through the accommodations process while also balancing the executive branch's confidentiality interests. So I think, we are in constant communication across agencies, with the White House as the executive branch, but, you know, with respect to any one particular file or request, I wouldn't be in a position to answer that today.
Well, generally then, did the White House ever play any role? And you're telling me the answer is yes.
I think as a general matter, the Office of Legislative Affairs works with the Office of General Counsel and any individual components, and it does not, I would say, you know, in my tenure, standard practice, that if there is a production that's being requested, it goes much further than the department itself.
Okay, so I'll take that as a yes. Mr. Swalwell is recognized for 5 minutes.